At the edge of the old village, where cobblestones gave way to moss and memory, there was a garden that no map ever bothered to name. A rusted iron gate marked its entrance, twisted into the shapes of vines and birds mid-song. Most villagers passed it without a second glance. Those who did rarely felt the urge to enter. But Ellen was different. Ellen discovered the garden on the morning her grandmother's clock stopped ticking. The silence in the house was overwhelming, as if something important had just stepped away without saying goodbye. Needing air, she wandered farther than usual, her boots damp with dew, until the gate appeared before her like a held breath. When she touched it, the gate sighed open. Inside, the garden unfolded in gentle layers. Terraces of flowers glowed as though lit from within. Roses shimmered, caught between red and gold. Tall foxgloves bent slightly, whispering to one another in a language Ellen felt rather than heard. Above, the sky seemed closer, softer, as if the clouds had leaned down to listen. Ellen stepped in, and the gate closed behind her with a sound like a promise. At the center of the garden stood a pear tree, ancient and silver-barked, its branches heavy with fruit despite the season. Beneath it sat a small wooden bench, smooth from years of waiting. As Ellen approached, the leaves rustled not with wind, but with attention. "Hello," Ellen said, feeling an odd need to be polite. The tree shimmered, and from its roots rose a figure formed of petals, bark, and light. She looked neither young nor old, her eyes the green of rain-soaked earth. "Welcome back," the garden keeper said. Ellen frowned. "I've never been here before." The garden keeper smiled. "Not with these feet." She explained that the garden was a place of crossings, a place where endings were, softened and beginnings quietly prepared. Every plant held a memory someone had lost, abandoned, or buried too deeply. The garden kept them alive until they were needed again. Ellen thought of her grandmother, of stories half told and songs left unfinished. As days turned into weeks, Ellen returned again and again. The garden shifted with her moods. When she felt heavy with grief, the lily opened wider, releasing a scent that eased her breathing. When anger flared, thorny vines curled protectively around her ankles, grounding her. She learned that the rare blue poppies bloomed only when someone forgave themselves, and that the night-blooming jasmine sang softly, almost shyly when the moon was kind. One afternoon, the garden keeper handed Ellen a pear from the silver tree. "Eat," she said. The fruit tasted like summer afternoons and warm kitchens. Memories flooded Ellen's mind. Her grandmother's laugh, the rhythm of her knitting needles, the way she always hummed when she thought no one was listening. The pain of loss was still there, but now it shared space with gratitude. "What happens to the garden when no one comes?" Ellen asked. The garden keeper looked toward the gate. "There is always someone who needs it, but it does not stay forever." And indeed, one morning, Ellen arrived to find the colors softer, the air thinner. The foxgloves were quiet. The gate no longer sighed when she touched it. "It's time," the garden keeper said gently. Ellen's chest tightened. "Will it disappear?" "No," she replied. "It will grow." The garden began to dissolve, not into nothing, but into countless seeds. They floated into the air like sparks, drifting beyond the walls, into the village, and out into the world. Some settled in cracks of pavement, others in window boxes or forgotten fields. When Ellen turned back, the garden keeper was gone. In her place stood the pear tree, now just an ordinary tree, rooted in quiet soil. Years later, the village had changed. Flowers appeared in the most unlikely places. Strangers lingered longer. Grief felt less sharp, and joy seemed more patient. Ellen, now grown, kept a small garden of her own. Whenever someone asked how she made things bloom so well, she would simply smile. "Some gardens," she'd say, "teach you how to carry them with you. Thank you for watching." If this story touched you, please like, share, and subscribe for more tales from the quiet corners of the world.